with the Lady in Black, Darlington Raceway for round 3 of the chase. There are several factors at winning here tonight, but we will get into that later on in this evening. We'll welcome everyone to the Sim Speed Shop Xfinity Series for Extreme Motorsports and 99.com on MaxSpeedTV. I am Joshua Medlock alongside Jake Clarkson. Jake, Darlington, the track too tough to tame. The Lady in Black, man, what is in store for these guys here this evening?
A long, dreadful night. There's a lot of tire wear, a lot of research. Guys are probably going to hear that all night if you guys are listening to these guys. They're going to be complaining their bitches about, I want tires and I want them now.
Well, tires probably going to be a big factor here this evening. Let me turn on the volume here of the track so everybody can hear us this evening. Well, Darlington is a unique track, Jake. We'll get to that later on. But we've got some track stuff we've got to go down here real quick with the pre-race analysts here. We've got an air temp of 88 degrees. We've got a track temp of 92. So 92 degree, 93 degree track temp as it just jumped up to 93 there. It is going to be a little hot out there on the track here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be slick. It's going to make an already hard enough track to pass on that much harder. Single groove, as you guys can see right now, they're doing a little bit of racing and practice just to get used to it. And you can see how hard it is to pass. You really can't complete passes. So it's going to be interesting tonight.
Yes, it sure is. Well, 115 laps at this 1.366. Yeah, it's an oval, but it's a unique oval. So, going to be, 115 laps and, not a long race, but rather a medium style race. But 115 laps at Darlington, that's a lot, that's a lot of time put in here for the track. 149.5 miles this evening. Tire window at about 30 to 40 laps roughly. Fuel window, 39 to 45 laps. These guys are going to have to really be conservative because it is Darlington. The track itself up high in the middle, that white striped line going into the corners, you'll see some guys try to make passes there. Is that the smartest thing to do?
It really depends on, I guess, how confident you are and who you're racing around. It's one of those catch-22s where you want to make passes, because if you sit behind somebody, who knows what could happen. You might be caught up in their mess, but you also don't want to be too aggressive. You got to find that happy medium where you can try to set up a run, preferably off the corner, pass them down the straight, and then set up the next one going into the next corner.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about fuel window here, Jake, real quick. We still got about 4 minutes left here in practice. So fuel window 39 to 45 laps. We've seen these guys get green flag runs in the past. Last week wasn't really the optimal green flag conditions, but tonight could be totally different. So if they go those long green flag stints, those tires, that fuel is going to be key as well.
Yeah, it is. I keep tripping over my words because this is a unique track, like we said. It's single grooves. The layout of it is weird. But tires are going to be huge. You're going to have to try to manage those. Even though these cars don't have the new tire model, the V7, like we keep mentioning, like the K&Ns did on Monday.
Yeah.
You're still going to feel the car just lose grip. You're going to feel the back end want to kick out, because that's what it's going to want to do. So yeah, you got to try to manage that over the length of a fuel run. Unfortunately, you can't pit every 5 laps and get new tires, or else they're going to go multiple laps down. So it's going to be who can manage their tires the best and just stay out of trouble.
Well, you was talking about going laps down, so now we're going to get on the pit road speed, 45 miles per hour here tonight. And getting on pit road, kind of like other tracks, especially short tracks, is a little difficult. These guys are going to have to get it woed down to 45 to get it in on pit road. And you go a lap down here at Darlington, and there's no caution because they don't run stages. you're looking at a very long night to get your lap back if you can get it.
Yeah, and real quick, like you hit on the pit road entry, I do want to hit on that. It's definitely, I'm gonna say, probably the hardest one on the circuit. Just the weird entry of it. You got to shoot down the banking at turn 3. It's all sandy down there. You gotta remember we're in uh, Florence, South Carolina, basically right next to the beach. There's sand, there's rubber, everything you can imagine is down there. You're going at a high rate of speed. You're gonna see some guys probably lock up their tires, maybe spin it, or maybe even hit the pit wall. You never know. You gotta keep an eye out for that tonight.
Well, as you was talking about that, I adjusted the camera. We went to the pit road here at the entrance, so everybody knows kind of what the entrance to pit road looks like. And, getting it down is going to be definitely tricky. Well, we're going to go here. While they've got a moment there, we're going to go really quick through the point standings here coming into tonight's race. Alan J. Elwood coming into tonight up in that top spot. However, only 3 ahead of John Sterling. Alan Elwood, 1,092. John Sterling up 2 spots in a 2nd place, 1,089, 3 back. Mike Rominger up 4 spots into 3rd, 1,076, 13 back. Tyler Hammond in 4th, 1,074, 2 back. Darren Clement staying where he's at in 5th, 1,071, 3 back. And Chuck Sweeting down 4 spots from last week. He is currently in 6th, 1,065, 6 back from Darren Clement.
And then coming into point 7th tonight will be Tommy Haynes, who dropped 1 spot last week. He's sitting at 1,059 points, about 6 back from Chuck. Then in 8th will be Nick Hunt, who actually happened to gain 3 spots, one of our big gainers from last week at 1,054 points, sitting 5 back from Tommy. 9th will be Blake, staying even where he was last week at 1,049 points. Biggest loser right here in 10th would be Dalton Cowden. We kind of all remember the unfortunate events he had last week. He lost 7 positions, I should say, 1,048 points. 11th, Ed Morris with 1,048. And then rounding out the top 12 will be Will L. Davis, lost 2 spots, 1,041 points, and sitting 51 back from the leader.
Well, I do want to talk about here real quick, Jake, the tie here between Ed Morris and Dalton Cowden. Both of these gentlemen, 10th and 11th, tied with 1,048. One race could change Dalton Cowden or Ed Morris's race.
Yeah, I mean, when we just did it, I talked about how Dalton lost 7 positions in one race. After tonight, you could gain 7, 8. Who knows how many spots he could gain? Just you got to stay out of trouble. Like you said, last week was definitely an interesting race at Pocono for these guys. So hopefully some of these guys who lost spots can, turn the tides around, and those guys that gained can continue to do so.
All right, well, as they get ready to qualify here, we see David Elliott in the 42. He's going to start things out now. This is single car qualifying. Now, everybody is out there on the track, but they can't see each other. So they have that whole track to themselves in qualifying. Jake, talk about what it means to get that track position early, because that is very important.
Yeah, it's going to be big. You're going to want clean air. We mention it every week. The further back in traffic you are, the more dirty air on that nose, the less the nose wants to grip, the more you want to slide up the track. So if you can stay up front, you can kind of dictate the pace of the race, kind of keep the tires, keep it safe, get the clean air, and you'll be in a lot better position.
Oh, yes, for sure. Well, we'll get to the 5 keys to winning at Darlington here later on. But first and foremost, we're going to step away here, play the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Can you see
Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star spangled banner again, wave for the land of the brave, and the Alrighty, back live here on MaxSpeedTV. We're gonna go here and go ahead and go through the top 5 here real quick for qualifying. Alan J. Elwood grabbing the top spot in qualifying. Tyler Hallman in second. Chuck Sweeting in third. Michael Mueller in fourth. And Tommy Haynes gonna round out the top 5 here. So now, since qualifying is ended and they're going into the drivers' meeting, we're going to get to some track stats here this evening about the turns. So, 115 laps. The lady in black and the track too tough to tame. You cannot tame Darlington. It is Darlington and the way it is. It broke ground in 1949. It opened in 1950. 1.366 miles is the track layout. There are 4 turns here tonight. Now, the turns 1 and 2 are the exact same, 25 degrees. Turn 3 and 4, 23 degrees. Front straight, which would be the front stretch where the stripe is 3 degrees, and the back straight is 2 degrees. So, Jake, you have a little bit more stats there on how Darlington came to be. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, definitely. So everyone knows Darlington as the egg-shaped track that it is. The way that came out to be is actually, if you guys look at an aerial view, there is a nice little minnow pond over by turn 4. The owner of that minnow pond did not want to sell it to the to Darlington Raceway when it first broke ground, so they said we're gonna move around that, and that's why one end of the track is the way it is, and the other end, 1 and 2 are the way it is, and 3 and 4 are the way it is. Also, when you go to enter the track, I found this out the hard way. There's a nice little swamp you go over as well, so it definitely has that South Carolina feel, that nice southern state feel that makes Darlington very, very unique. Also off the track.
Well, yeah, Darlington has a really, like you said, a unique layout. You know, it's more egg-shaped, more oblong. It's not your typical oval. It's it's strange, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing to compare it to. It races like Darlington. You can only compare it to itself.
Well, Darlington, and if you can compare any track to Darlington, what track would you compare it to?
Oh man, as soon as you said that, the gears were turning. I really don't know. Maybe an oversized Bristol, I guess. That'd be the only track I could think of. Kind of old Bristol, one groove. You're at the bottom of the track, hard to pass. if you kind of notice, turn 4 at Bristol's a little bit different than turn 2. But other than that, that's probably the closest thing I got for you. This track is just different, which makes it awesome.
Well, yeah, and it is totally different here. It's one of those tracks that you got to be very careful. One groove. Usually it's one groove. But can they make it 2 grooves here tonight?
They can, but they've got to, I guess, protect each other when they do that. Just be aware. Turns 1 and 2 should really be no issue. That's not going to be the issue point. The point of contestment is going to be 3 and 4 with how shallow that corner is. You want to perform live, entering low, lift into a little, down in the back.
People can still hear us. They're not jumping the line right now because right now they're in a driver's seat. But it's still gonna be fun. A fun race here indeed. But we really need to. The sponsor here tonight. It's the Sim Speed Shop Xfinity Series. And of course, the shout out to a Speed Shop. So, Sim Speed Shop is a small sim racing company. Wow, where did my words go? That Jason Eisenhower started about 2 years ago. Jason Eisenhower wanted a button box, so he ventured into making his own and eventually turned it into a small business. Jason Eisenhower's main goal is to provide sim racing components at a reasonable pricing to the sim racing community. Jason Eisenhower keeps a very low completed inventory, but parts are always on hand for production. 90% of the button boxes are custom made with the buyer's input and preferences. Jason Eisenhower designed a one-piece button box and mount for the Fanatec Club Sport and AccuForce DD bases. Now, that might have been already implemented. They have sequential shifters as well as handbrakes. The V2 sequential shifters is in the works and should be available for the holidays. Now, I don't know if those are available just yet. You will have to get and reach out to Sim Speed Shop to see if those are available. They sell a lot of iFlags, and just this week, or a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, just started printing them in color and multicolor to match your rig setups. Mainly, they provide sim products at a very reasonable price as an effort to grow the community. Sim Speed Shop isn't in it for the money. Jason Eisenhower and the group does it to put smiles on people's faces. They stand behind all their products since everything is and production lead times tend to be longer than bulk manufacturers. So a big shout out to the sponsors of a Sim Speed Shop for what they are producing.
Yeah, actually know Jason. Raced with him a lot last year. Really great dude. Love his products. Definitely check them out, guys.
Yeah, Sim Speed Shop. All right. Well, it looks like the drivers' meeting is over here. So let's see here if we can get maybe an interview in here real quick with about 6 minutes left to go. All right, we do have the okay for interview. So let's go ahead and talk if we can. I have to find him. Alan Elwood. Now, he is our pole sitter as well as our point standings here. Alan, do you have a copy, buddy?
I'm with you.
Well, Alan, man, starting on pole here tonight with a 28.585. You're also 3 points ahead of John Sterling after last week. Well, Darlington, too tough to tame. How did practice feel, and what did it feel like in qualifying here tonight?
Practice didn't feel too bad. I got a couple solid laps in that helped with getting that pole lap down. Overall, I mean, it's kind of the same as it's always been this season, a little bit tight, but really it's not too bad, with it being a little bit overcast and a little cooler track. So, actually a decent amount of grip out there. So it might be a little easier to keep it out of the wall, but that's easier said than done after 100 and some laps.
Well, yeah, we still have, we haven't even started in 115 laps. It's may not seem like a whole lot of laps, Alan, but 115 laps at Darlington can be dreadful.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long night. I got some water with me. I got the fan running in the room. It's one of them nights that you could drain yourself of all the energy you got just trying to keep it off the wall. So it's gonna be one of them, just survive and stay up front, stay out of the carnage in the mid and back, and see what we got. Get a good points night.
All righty, Alan. Well, congratulations on the pole here tonight, bud. Good luck down there, buddy.
Thanks, Josh.
All right. Well, Cross a Continent Racing for Alan Elwood. So let's see if we can get. I know somebody wants me to talk to a driver here.
Yeah, I believe that's Gary May. They want us to talk to.
Gary May from Primetime. Gary May, Joshua Booth, got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, Gary, man, it looks like you're going to be starting all the way back. You didn't qualify here tonight. Man, what's the track feeling out here for you, and what is in store for you?
In store for me, just to take my time and see what happens, and it's rough out there.
Well, a track temp not as high, but it's still high. Do you think tires might be a big factor here tonight?
Yes, I do think tires are going to be a big factor because I think we're going to still be slipping and sliding around. But like I said, I'm just hang in the back and let things unfold and see how it works out.
All righty, Gary. But good luck down there, buddy. It looks like you've got a couple of people down there in chat, rooting you on. So good luck, Gary.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, Gary May going to be starting toward the back. So let's see here if we can get. How about we go with Mike Rominger? Gotta find him here. Well, where's he at? There he is. Mike Rominger, Joshua Booth, got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Mike, man, you're going to be starting just inside the top 10, a couple of positions into 8th here tonight. Man, talk about what the track feels for you here, and what is it going to take to survive?
The track don't feel too bad. It's going to be hard on tires, so you're going to have to manage your tires the best you can and race the racetrack, not the other cars as much.
So you believe tires, other than fuel, so you're going to throw fuel out of the equation and basically bank it about tires.
Oh yeah, because we'll wear tires out way before we run out of fuel. So.
All righty, Mike. Well, good luck down there. About 1:15 left here in a qualifying. Of course, everybody has qualified, and y'all's just getting ready to grid. So 115 laps. It's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, just got to survive and be there at the end.
All righty, Mike. Good luck down there, buddy.
Thank you.
All And Mike Rominger from Alliance Motorsports. Well, I was going to get into this later on, Jake, but we kind of need to do it here. Well, we got about 45 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there, man. Jake, who is your pick to win this evening?
My pick to win this evening, I'm going to go Tyler Hallman. I think he's going to have what it takes. Had a great run last week at Pocono. I think he's going to follow that up this week. I'm going to take the 52 car.
All right, Tyler Hallman starting second here this evening. I am actually going to go with the guy behind you here in the number 26, Chuck Sweeting, to pull out the victory here tonight. So we've got some competition going on up here in the booth.
I guess we do. We got some co-opetition is what I'm going to call it.
Co-opetition. All right. Well, they're going to get them on the grid here. So let's get this off of here. Let's do the quad grid. I'll go ahead and do the quad grid here. This is the MaxSpeedTV starting grid. Alan Elwood grabbing the pole here tonight with a 28.585. Congratulations to Alan for grabbing the pole. Tyler Hallman going to start on the outside of him in second. Chuck Sweeting in third. Michael Mueller in fourth. Tommy Haynes in fifth. Justin Gann in sixth. Blake Griffith seventh. Mike Rominger eighth. Will Davis ninth. Darren Clement 10th. Ed Morris 11th. Jason Eisenhower 12th. Joshua Gillian 13th. Tommy Yamassi 14th. Brandon Freeze 15th. Bryce Sendesack 16th. Nick Hunt 17th. Adam Eisenhower 18th. Dalton Cowden not qualifying. He is going to start 19th here tonight. Gary May 20th. Jerry Glenn 21st. David Elliott 22nd. Bobby Tench 23rd. Nolan Neiman 24th. Andy Starcher and Don Kidder are your admins here this evening. All right, well, let's get to our polls that are here. Would be the number 4, Alan Elwood. Well, all right, well, while they get lined up here, let's see who we have in chat here tonight. Hitmaster, Jake Clarkson, of course, joining me in the booth here this evening. Jason Welch Music, Jeff Glockner, John Gonzalez, Lynn Johnson in chat as well. Drive for Diabetes Awareness Incorporated in chat. Glad to have you in chat. And if there is anybody that I missed, please let me know. Robin Davis in chat. All right, they are rolling off here. Alan Elwood gonna get him going on the inside with the 52 to his outside. Tyler Hallman. They're only going to get one pace lap. So the pace car will dive off as it comes around. Jake, should be interesting, bud.
Should be. Hopefully it is good. Good race for all the viewers tonight.
All right, as they make their way around turn 3 and 4 here. Going to get a bigger view, hopefully, here as the pace car dives off. Alan Elwood on the loud pedal before the green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We're racing at the track too tough to tame. Darlington here tonight.
Yeah, great restart right there by the leader. That's what happens when you get out front. Like I said, you get that clean air. You're able to set sail, and he has nothing to worry about right now as they go single file most of the way back to the field.
Yeah, they are already single file. We have a few battles. We go back here to the 34 and the 00. It looks like the 34 of Dalton Cowden is going to make the pass. We have a battle up here, too, with the 52, the 26 of Chuck Sweeting. Chuck going to take over second here from Tyler Hallman.
It looks like Michael Mueller's trying to breathe down his neck right now. That kind of all started a lap ago in turn 3 before the 52 washed up and kind of scraped the wall. Generally, you hear us call it out if somebody hit the wall, but here at Darlington, that's just part of the characteristics.
Now the Darlington stripe. Everybody is aware of it as we see the 1 and the 30. The 1 of Blake Griffith going below that white striped line there. He's going to make the pass there on the 30. He is going to take the position. 6th position here tonight. Lap 3 of 115 already. The 09 of Bryce Sidisak to the low side. Brandon Freeze on the high side. This is all the way back around the 14th position here. And the speeds they reach. 170 plus miles an hour on the front straw, on the stretches, and coming out of the corners. You know, we were looking here 180 miles an hour for Bryce Sidisak, Jake, going into turn 3.
Yeah, that's nothing. Nothing I'd like to do. That's scary. I've done it before on iRacing, and it doesn't get any better as the race goes on. You don't build up your confidence because as soon as you feel confident, that's when this track will come out and latch you, and you'll be in that wall.
Yes, sir. Well, Will L. Davis, chase driver, make the pass on the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Here comes the 7 of Ed Morris, also a chase driver, looking to the inside of Jason Eisenhower, right at the Sim Speed shop. And it looks like Jason already has some right front damage there.
Yeah, so a little bit different from last week. We talked about aero and, you know, it being a factor. And don't get me wrong, aero's still going to be a factor here, but it's not going to, depending on the where the damage is, it's not going to necessarily slow you up. It's not going to keep you out of contention. There's a little more leeway with it here at Darlington than there was at Pocono.
Well, as we keep an eye on Ed Morris, he is going to complete the pass on the 36 of Jason. And Ed going to go into 11th. Alan Elwood, though, already 1.3 seconds ahead of Chuck Sweeting now, who is in second. Tyler Hallman in third. Michael Mueller in fourth. He's not letting Tyler get too far ahead of him. He's only about a half a second, 0.4 of a second there ahead of Michael Mueller.
Yeah, Alan's just setting a blistering pace right now, up over a second and a half over a second. He definitely found something during practice, it looks like.
All about it back here, the 1 going to the inside of the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes going back to 6th. Blake Griffith in the 1, taking ahead into that top 5 as he crosses the line there. Well, Jake, keys to winning. Top 5 keys to winning here tonight. We're going to talk about aggression here real quick. How aggressive, not necessarily being, wrecked to win, but how aggressive do you have to be here at Darlington?
I mean, it kind of depends on what type of aggression you're talking. I think one of our drivers said it during our pre-race interviews. You want to race the track, not the other drivers. So, obviously, driver's instinct, you see someone out of that front windshield, you want to catch them. But as long as you keep hitting your marks, you'll slowly make up ground. So I think aggression here, try to keep it to a minimum. Maybe during the end of the race you might ramp it up, but I really don't see it because you step over that line, your race is done.
All right. Well, a track position. What do you think about track? To me, track position here at Darlington is probably your top spot.
Yeah. I would say anywhere in the top 3, maybe top 5 would be good. But anywhere further back than that, you're not necessarily asking for trouble, but it's definitely lurking.
All right. Well, talent. We don't talk about talent much here at Darlington, and we don't talk about talent much really throughout any race, but talent here at Darlington, a big factor too as well.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna separate, that line in the sand, I guess, of who can really drive a car and who's just good. You'll see it tonight. These guys are gonna have their hands full. The cars are gonna be loose. They're gonna be slick. They're gonna be all over the place, and it's gonna take some talent and a wheel man to definitely win tonight.
All right, well, we're going to get to the fourth one here, stamina. Now, how much stamina do you have to put in? Now, I understand this is sim, but for those out there who race in VR and those who put in the time and the commitment and those who have a motion rig, stamina is a big factor as well.
Yeah, I mean, stamina, a certain amount plays into any race, but definitely here, the reason being is as the run goes on, the laps get longer. That's why if you guys actually watched the real Xfinity broadcast or one of the cup practices, Dale Jr. talked about that. This is such a long race because of the fact that the laps get longer. Same thing on iRacing. The longer these laps get, the more time these guys are behind the wheel. As right now, as you can see, we're in a 14-lap run. These guys are probably begging for a caution just so they can get a drink of water, just kind of relax for a little bit.
All right, well, the last but not least, and probably the most important of them all, survival. Surviving Darlington is going to be key, and probably topping aggression and track position is survival. Talk about survival here. Lap 15 of 115 here tonight. 100 to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a war of attrition. Like you said, we still got 100 laps to go. No point. This kind of ties into the aggression. No point to be defending a spot. If someone's a little bit quicker than you, let them go. Sit behind them, learn from them. See where they're beating you. See where you can pick up time. See how you can alter your line, and then use that later on down the line to try to beat them back. But yeah, right now, just save your stuff, save your equipment, be there at the end. That's where the points pay.
Well, all right. Well, as these guys still are single file, they are spacing themselves out a little bit. As we went through that, Bryce Sedesak all the way, currently running back here in the 12th position. We're to go here. Alan Elwood, he is putting on a show here early on. 2.5 seconds over Michael Mueller now, who is now in second, making a pass over Chuck Sweeting, putting him back in third. And we see a little scraping there going on. If you can get away from getting that Darlington stripe, Jake, you're doing good. But one line groove here at Darlington, it's not really coming away without the Darlington stripe is 1 in what? 1,000?
Oh, that's lowballing. I'm gonna say 1 in a million. Unfortunately, the quick line here is paper thin. It's that Kyle Larson line, as we want to call it, the Dale Jr. line, where you could reach out and just sign that white wall. So it's inevitable. Everyone's probably gonna get a Darlington stripe, but it's when you cross over that and actually get some body damage that becomes an issue.
All right, well, Justin Gann currently running in that 6th position in the 30. And like I said, everybody is pretty much spread out between a half a second to a second or more ahead of the driver in front of them. We do have maybe a few battles here maybe brewing. Ed Moore Sr. currently running back here in 10th. He has got the 17 of Tommy Haynes and the 09 of Bryce Senesac. Now, we've been on Bryce here, but, we've got 3 drivers here. They're running a line that is really one group. What's going to give and take here?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for being a one group track. There's just can't, like I keep saying, I'm going to keep reiterating all night until the checker flag flies. You just can't overstep that boundary. And that's going to be huge for these guys tonight.
All right. Well, as these guys continue to get a little bit spread out here, if you have a pick in the chat that you would like to see win here this evening, please throw that in chat. I do have chat pulled up. I will try my best to get it on a stream here at MaxSpeedTV. Of course, myself, Joshua Medlock, and Jake Clarkson, the people on the mics here. And Jake, you had the opportunity to help me last week, and you enjoyed it. You're here again tonight. But this is the the 11 of Will L. Davis scraped the wall there. Darlington shot, but you had the opportunity to help me last week. It is a totally different perspective from racing or adminning.
Yeah, before we get to that, I do want to take a check here. What did happen to Mike Rominger in the 9? He is now down 11 laps. I think we missed something. He may have spun, didn't bring out a caution, and he ended up towing. If we can try to go back and find that, we will. But yeah, like you were saying, Monday nights I'm actually up in the admin tower for the K&N, kind of learning from Darren and John over there. And I do occasionally, I did race in this league for a little bit of time, but I do race on here, and it's a totally different view. It's all three of them have different components that make each unique. But yeah, I'm glad that you were willing to bring me up last week, and I'm glad you had me back this week, and hopefully we are able to continue this on into the future.
Well,
right now,
I do.
Like we are trying to find what happened to Mike, possibly.
Well, yeah, if you could go back and try to figure out what happened to Mike, Jake, that would be fantastic. I do want to give a shout out to the Wells family here tonight. Gary was going to be joining me and Jake here tonight, but something come up, so I do want to give my prayers and thoughts to the family there. So, Gary, if you're out there listening in, thoughts and prayers for your family here this evening. There's, some things going on. I won't reveal any details, but just remember, we're here with you, not only Extreme, but MaxSpeedTV and myself. So, tonight it's me and Jake. We're going to handle it here this evening. Nolan Neiman, the last driver, or one of the last drivers on the lead lap, Nolan Neiman currently running in 22nd. Joshua Gillian all the way back here in 23rd. He started 13th. What happened to Joshua?
I can't talk about Joshua, but I did find what happened to Mike Rominger and why he's down those 15 laps and counting. It looks like it happened back from lap 10. He came across him and another driver. Let's see if I can try to get the number here who he was battling with. It appears to be Justin Gann. They came across the slower car of Tommy Haynes going into turn number 3. Unfortunately, Mike caught the bad end of that. Tried to dive it down in there, got into the wall, and then got run over by somebody else, and probably has some suspension damage and some other things going on as he did get on top of the wall. So there you go, guys. That is what happened to Mike.
Oh man, Mike Rominger. Now it looks like Mike Rominger has already taken his car behind the wall, third in the point standings, up 4 spots from last week. Jake, that's going to be a rough ride for Mike Rominger, because one race could either make it or break it, because you go through the points and you can gain many spots just in one race.
Yeah, and Mike's the guy exactly who we were talking about, who was riding the high coming off Pocono, gained 4 spots, was up to 3rd there in the point standings. Gonna take a huge hit tonight. Gonna finish last more than likely, and we'll have to see where he tumbles.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, of course, also a big shout out to the admins here this evening: Don Kidder, Andy Starcher, and it looks like Rick Donovan, the owner, one of the owners, or the head boss man as I call him, up in the admin booth. So, what these guys have to go through each and every week. If we talk about it, Jake, you've had a the 32 Darren Clement scraping the wall. He is gonna kind of, get squirrely there. He keeps it straight. Good job by Darren. But going back to the admins, too, you have your hands full.
Yeah, we do. As we see the right front damage on Darren's car there. Yeah, the admins, depending on the race, we have our hands full. This Monday night when I was up there for the K&N race, it was nice. The guys got a long green flag run. We're able to pit under green, kind of play some strategy there. But at that point, once everyone gets spread out like they are here, you kind of got to keep your eyes open. You're bouncing all around, making sure you can try to pick up as much as you can because we are humans. There's only 2, maybe 3 of us in there. We do make mistakes, but we try to catch as much as we can.
I want to check on Brandon Freeze. Currently running back here in 14th, started 15th. He lost some speed there. That did allow Adam Eisenhower in the 86 to get around him. Lap 33 of 115. Well, here in about 4 or 5 laps here, Jake, we're going to be in the window for a green flag pit stop for fuel. 39 to 45 laps. These guys are really willing and dealing it here tonight, but how are those tires after 34 laps?
What tires? They still have tires in the car?
What tires?
They are squealing. They are screaming. These guys are just waiting. I don't even think it's going to be a pit window. I think it's going to be a pit lap. You're going to see everyone diving in within a lap or 2 of each other.
Well, we're going to go up here to Alan Elwood, who has a 2.8 second lead over Michael Mueller. 28.612 is his best. 35 laps into the race, he is now down to 30.649. So almost or a little over 2 seconds of fall off after 35 laps. That can make it or break it for a driver.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Darlington is. And you might hear some tracks like a half a second to a second fall off over a fuel run. 2-3 seconds at Darlington, that's normal, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so these guys are doing a heck of a job. I can't speak enough for the talent these guys have to be able to do the first stint 35 laps under green, and we'll see if we can get a green flag pit stop.
Well, as we were talking there, Darren Clement came down pit road. So he has got all tires, and it looks like we have just him coming down pit road. He has had enough of the tires. So different strategies we're going to see. He has pitted just a little bit early. Maybe not too early, but a little bit. Could that help or break Darren Clement in the 32?
Well, I think we also have to look at that damage. We don't know. We weren't in the car, so maybe he was feeling something. Maybe it was slowing him down, so he figured, hey, come in a little early, try to fix the car up, try to get some first tires, see if that was the issue, see if the damage was the issue. So we don't know. But yeah, a little bit early, but you never know how it's going to work out for him.
All right. Well, we do have several drivers now that are a lap down under the green flag here. 38 laps into the race under green flag conditions. So going all the way back to 16th, Gary May, first driver a lap down. Tommy Amassi, Joshua Gillian, Bobby Tench, Nolan Neiman, Jason Eisenhower, and is now 2 laps down on pit road. But we do have other drivers now coming out pit road. Chuck Sweeting coming out pit road. Started 3rd, currently now in 14th, 15th, 16th. As it changes, we see some green flag pit stops happening right now.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, as soon as that first person dove down, didn't really depend who it was. As soon as that first person came down, these guys, the floodgates are going to open. These guys are all going to try to come down as soon as they could to get tires.
All right, well, Tyler Hallman coming down pit road as we speak. He has given up that position to say, hey, I've had it. I'm done. I need some new rubbers. I need the fuel. Let's get it on. He is coming down pit road right now. And it looks like Michael Mueller is going to give up second. Oh, he missed, I believe, the cone there. If you can go back and take a look, did he miss the cone? However, he is coming down pit road in the number 99. are going to get the fuel and the tires here. So we have Michael Mueller coming down. And our leader, Alan Elwood, coming down, as well as Dalton Cowden coming down. Looks like Justin Gann gonna stay out. So as Jake takes a look to see what happened there, we take a look up front, the number 30 of Justin Gann gonna stay out, lead a lap. Will L. Davis, gonna be in second. Blake Griffith. Here comes the number 11 of Will L. Davis. It looks like he is gonna pull off and make a pit stop, as well as Blake Griffith. Jake, got an update?
Yes, I do. So I went back, kind of rewatched what happened to Michael Mueller, and yeah, he hit the cone with the left side tires, so we are going to need a replacement cone down there for pit road.
Rip cone.
Yeah, but no harm, no foul. But I wish you could go back on the broadcast and kind of watch it. As I went back and watched it, you could see him. He came down, he dove down off turn 3 like you normally would, and the car just slid. Like I said, like I said earlier in the broadcast, no grip down there, and that's kind of what sent him off course to hitting that cone.
Well, under green flag conditions, with Darlington, Jake, you gotta understand everything happens so quickly. I can only do so much. So, that's what we got you for.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to keep up here and help you guys out. If you guys, I'm trying to read the chats and see if there's something you guys have questions about, so I can go back and try to find it.
Yeah, yes, sir. All right. Well, Nick Hunt coming down pit road in the 00. Nick Hunt currently in the 8th position in the points, 1,054. 5th, or 5 points behind Tommy Haynes. He is on his pit stall. Speaking of Tommy Haynes, up front in the number 17. Chase driver here, vying for a championship. Now, they are still under green flag conditions, so why not we go through the team points here real quick. Now, this is going to be the Xfinity Series alone. We'll go through the overall later, but Performance Motorsports 702, they are tied with Samson in its second here with 702. Performance in a third, 682. Primetime in fourth with 669. Downforce in fifth, 637. And Maverick in sixth, 542. This is the Xfinity Series. We'll get to the total here later on for all series, but a lot of green flag pit stops, they are happening right now.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of the guys have already, I believe, come down pit road, gotten their 4 fresh tires. They're already out there, but maybe some of these guys are going to try to hold on, and some of the guys near the back, and hope a caution comes out, because I believe that would trap quite a few people lapped down.
Well, yes, sir. Well, as Tyler Hallman here gets around Adam Eisenhower to get his lap back the old-fashioned way on the track, Adam Eisenhower going to lead 3 laps here this evening, but it's not about leading a lap for the points. You don't get a bonus point for leading a lap. You get a bonus point for leading the most laps, as well as incident-free, and as well as qualifying. Qualifying within a few seconds, of course, will give you a free 1-point bonus.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you don't get a bonus point for leading a lap, but to get the most, you got to lead at least one. So I think that's what we see Adam doing here, just trying to, maybe lead some laps. And like I said, just hope for a lucky caution. You never know at Darlington. Once you start getting these guys on new tires and old tires mixing together, anything can happen. Anything is possible, especially if you're at the back of the pack. What do you got to lose anyways?
All right, well, Adam Eisenhower started 18th, currently running first. Oh, with a first caution comes out. And who is that? Tommy Amassi. Well, the first caution of the evening. Wow. Well, let's go back here and take a look at what happened to the 05 of Tommy Massey.
Was it
Well,
Tommy Massey? Or was it Brandon Freeze?
All right. Well, Tommy Massey's coming out pit road, so it might have been Brandon Freeze.
I believe it
So
was down Brandon. I believe it was Brandon
all right,
Freeze.
Brandon Freeze. Yeah, I do see it here. I had two cars that the speed was at 0 at the same time. So you know, making adjustments here, folks. I'm not perfect, so. All right, well, we're going to rewind it here. All right, Brandon Freeze coming around here. Oh, it looks like contact might have been made there between the 99 and the 2. That sent the 2 hard into that inside wall on the backstretch. Heavy damage. He does, of course, come up toward the racing surface. So that is going to change the game here tonight. First caution of the evening.
Now I'm trying to look, and I believe the top 11 from Adam Heisenhower all the way down to Michael Mueller will be on the lead lap, and Tommy Massey all the way down, lap down. So I'm going to pitch this to you, since you like to pitch me questions and put me on the spot. If you were this lap down, guys, if you were just on pit road, maybe 5-10 laps ago, depending, are you going to stay out and try to take the wave around, or do you stay a lap down and get some 4 fresh tires?
Well, if you're the driver that's going to take the wave around, I would definitely stay out. However, if you're, one of the drivers further back a little bit, probably maybe coming down pit road, bank on maybe another caution, because this is Darlington, and I hate that you put me on the spot there, but, it's part of it,
Yeah, definitely. I know we will add at least one more driver. Somebody will get the lucky dog. But yeah, looks like we have a couple people taking the wave around here. So we'll have to see how that works out. Those top, I think it was 12 initially, they're going to have 4 fresh tires and stay on the lead lap. And then near the back of the pack, we're going to have this huge gaggle where they're on older tires. So we'll have to see how that plays out here as we go on.
Yes, sirree. Well, let's see here. Because this is Darlington. Now, I don't know. Let's see who we can chat with. We talked to Alan. Let's go with. We talked to Gary. Let's go with our. Let's go with Blake Griffith, shall we?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's see if I can find him here. Oh, well, we're not going to get with anybody here, because guess what? They're already going to go back green flag racing here, so they're getting double foul already.
Well, yeah, lights are out on the base car.
Yep.
That was a nice, quick little yellow here.
That was quick, for sure. Jake, get him going.
All right, well, we see the pack getting formed up here. It looks like the leader of Alan J. Elwood. He will take the inside lane here from the looks of it. I think it's going to be a very smart move. That's where he was in the initial start. He was able to get to a good launch as pace car brings them down the backstretch. These guys are getting 2 by 2 by 2, getting ready for this restart here on lap 53 of 115. Do you think we're going to see more of the same here real quick before we're at green, Josh? Do you think everyone's going to kind of single file out here? All right, well, it looks like maybe have technical difficulties with Joshua as the 4 car takes off here, gets out to a commanding lead early, and we are back racing as we cross the line. Top 3, 4, 5. Look at this again. As we saw much of earlier, guys are getting single file here. They don't want anything to do with double wide. As we get a little further back, it looks like there might be, but top 5, 6, maybe top 10 now. The single files will come off turn number 2. As we head into turn 3 and 4, Alan J. Elwood. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Got a couple cars on the apron there, but no cautions. They stayed off the racing line. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that in a little bit and see what was going on there. But Alan Elwood, again, out to about a half a second lead as it appears to be the top 5. It's kind of broken away from the rest of the pack. And again, we did have that little incident there that's kind of helped separate everyone. Dalton Cowan, Tyler Hellman, Chuck Sweden, Adam Eisenhower, and Alan J. Elwood are the 5 that are all together. It looks like we have a pass for 4th now. Looks like Dalton in the 34 trying to get around Tyler in the 52.
All right. Well, lap 56 of 115 here tonight. What's the halfway mark? I didn't do the math here.
It would be about 77, I believe. No, 57.
57 laps. So we're going to be coming with 70 and 70 is 140. So
yeah, I think it's 57.
It's 57 laps, and we are, yes, at sort of the halfway mark here as Alan Elwood crosses the line. So next time by over the halfway mark, Alan J. Elwood currently first. Adam Eisenhower in second, Chuck Sweeting third, Tyler Hellman fourth, Dalton Cowden fifth. Jake, go ahead and go through the 6th through 10th.
Definitely. In 6th, we have Blake Griffith. 7th, Will L. Davis. 8th is Michael R. Mueller. 9th, David Elliott. And our top 10 will be Justin Gann in the 30 car. And real quick, before we do want to continue, I do want to touch on an incident we had earlier on that restart. We was able to find it here. And I believe it is the 98. I don't know exactly who drives it. I believe it is Jerry Glenn. Kind of got into the outside wall, and I'm trying to figure out who this was below. Maybe the 05 of Tommy Amassey. They kind of collected. They got the 15 of Nolan Neiman. It looks like the 32 of Darren Clement was able to avoid, and a couple other cars were involved. That's why we see that huge gap. But again, these guys stayed on the apron out of the racing line, so we stayed green.
All right. Well, in chat here, let's take a look who we have in chat. Now, Alan Fox has joined Jeff Glockner, and it looks like Sandra Gillian has joined. Now, we were wondering if Miss Sandra was going to join here tonight. So, nice to have you again, Sandra, as we take a look at the number 40.
I believe he was involved in that last wreck.
Yeah, Joshua Gillian unfortunately has taken his car behind the wall, as well as Nolan Neiman in the number 15. Hate to say it for Joshua Gillian, but, involved in it, and, you don't have any resets, Jake, so you can't just go in, reset your car to factory setting per se. You have to either get it fixed or call it a night.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are no quick fixes here in the Extreme Motorsports leagues. So yeah, that's where we talked about earlier in the 5 keys to winning: attrition. You got to take care of your equipment. And again, I get it. It may not be all you. Someone else may get loose in front of you and unfortunately collect you. But you gotta be able to keep where you're at. You want to try to keep that track position. That's where all these 5 things tie together. You gotta have all 5 to win tonight.
Exactly. Sandra, just because the number 40 may be out of the race here this evening does not mean we still have racing here to go. Now, I know you want to root on Joshua. He is an awesome racer and love to see him race out here. But stay tuned, because this is Darlington. We are in a transition from kind of a midday to night, an evening to a night race, Jake. So temperatures are going to change. So let's bring up that here. Air temp 87, track temp 91. Now it's still a little high, but it's not as bad as what it was.
No, I think it's about a degree or 2 difference, but yeah, it's, as you mentioned, the transition, something I absolutely loved when iRacing added it. Kind of gave us a real life feel to it, and it will change Maybe the later on we get into this race, possibly. You might see the track change a little bit, but it's not going to vary too much, just because of all the heat from the tires that are built into the track at this point.
Exactly. Well, I've been watching Tyler Hallman here, and Tyler Hallman has been looking, and
Caution
caution on the track, and that is gonna be Will L. Davis involved. Let's go back and take a look here. Second caution of the evening, and it looks like he's mired by himself. So, a self spin maybe?
Yeah, that's what it appeared to me when I was watching. I think he just got a little high up out of the groove, unfortunately, tagged the outside wall, and it sent him from the inside, but we'll have to check on the replay to confirm that.
All right, well, we are looking here. Of course, all confirmations and there we go. All confirmations, of course, are from the admins. But it looks like the 11 gets too high into the wall, comes down hard into that inside wall, and up onto the track. And the 98 just dodging him, as well as the 99. So that is gonna be, oh man, detrimental to Will L. Davis, a chase driver coming in tonight, 12th in point.
Yeah, and that's I believe the second chase driver we've had early issues. I believe it was Mike Rominger early on. Yeah, that's again part of it. If you're gonna keep saying that, I am.
Yeah, exactly. Well, coming off of pit road, as we take a look at it here, Alan Elwood taking the top spot here off of pit road. Adam Eisenhower gonna be second here. Chuck Swinning third. Well, let's get a word with the Sim Speed Shop 86. Adam Eisenhower, Joshua in the booth, you got a copy.
I sure do, Joshua.
Well, you started 18th. You're currently running second off of pit road. Well, 67 laps into the race. We are over halfway here, getting close. Man, talk about the racing here at Darlington. What the track feels like and the transition from day to night.
Well, the track feels pretty good. Racing's pretty darn good, too. I qualified back there 18th just to set myself back there in case anything happened on the restart. And lo and behold, we come out of 2, and everybody through the entire field, I think, was single file. So just showed the professionalism that goes on here at Extreme Motorsports 99, that everybody can, respect the track, respect the racers around them, and just settle in. And boy, I wanted to stay out. I thought I was pretty fast through say 3/4 of that run, and then it just became evident that everybody was peeling off, and if I stayed out there and to run it dry, I thought the risk might be worth the reward if a caution came out, and sure enough, it did. Caught a lot of people a lap down and made them take waiver rounds, and that was a pretty quick caution there. So I think everybody came back to it, and everybody's on the same pit strategy now. They took all their waiver rounds, but pretty excited the way it's going. Track feels good, car feels good. You never know. Every turn's a new turn, and you got to respect it. This track will bite you pretty bad. So every turn is a new one.
Yes, sir, Adam. Well, you guys are already getting double foul here, so good luck down there, man. We still got several laps left to go. Plenty of laps. Good luck, Adam.
Long race. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Well, Jake, 69 of 115. We take a look at the caution count. 2 cautions for 7 laps. 47 laps to go. We got 4 lead changes here tonight. But it is not over here.
No, not by a long shot. Still, I believe, quickly 50 laps to go, something like that. There's still a lot of racing left here. I will let you take it away, Josh, on this restart.
All right. Well, Alan Elwood already on the loud pedal. Here we go, folks. Lap 70 of 115 here this evening. And he has got a good jump there. Well, let's go here. And I do not have a crank it up cam for Darlington. So let's go cockpit here with Blake Griffith for a couple of laps. Alrighty, folks, back live here on MaxSpeedTV. I don't have a crank it up cam, so we had to go a cockpit here with one of the drivers. But we're going to open it up here with a control your emotions here at Darlington. And me and Jake was talking about that. Controlling your emotions here at Darlington. You know, throw talent out. But it's part of it. You got to control that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a big thing about controlling your emotions would have been, during those first green flag stops, like Adam talked about, when people stayed out hoping for a caution, and that caution came out. That if you were one of those guys that were running in the front initially and you pitted, and all of a sudden that caution comes out, you know you're trapped a lap down. You know you're going to the back. It's very easy to, flip a switch and start getting over aggressive, which again ties into earlier ones that we talked about. And you don't want to do it. You want to control yourself, calm yourself, tell yourself, hey, it's a long race. We still got time. If we're smart and pick through this traffic, strategically, we'll be there. But if we try to go hammer down and we junk it, then we just, we're not going to be there.
Not to interrupt you there, Jake, but what happened to Tommy Massey?
I don't know. I saw that too as I was talking. I'll go back and try to find it real quick.
Well, we're going to go on the MaxSpeedTV replay here as well.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like one of the drivers may have caught the wall the 66, and he went to dodge it there to not get into the back of him under green flag conditions here. Tommy Amassi slowing way down just to get around the 66 of, it looks like, Bobby Tench.
Yeah, but that wasn't his only issue. I believe it may have been that same lap or a lap later. He then hit the wall. Yeah, it was the next set of corners. Hit the wall.
All right.
Severe right front damage now.
Oh, man, severe right front damage. Not what you want at any track. Well, we take a look up front. Alan J. Elwood, 70 laps led here this evening. And now I believe he will come away, no matter what happens, with the most laps led here this evening. Started on pole. He is currently running up front. Dalton Cowden. Big move from Dalton Cowden in the 34, Jake. Started 19th. He is up to second.
Yeah, this is one of the guys that I put on my list, someone we needed to watch tonight. Not just because of talent, but trying to rebound. Again, had a bad Pocono. He wanted to put that one in the memory bank and just kind of deep in the memory bank, kind of not really remember it. And he's coming out and doing everything he needs to tonight. He's capitalizing on others' mistakes, others' misfortunes, and he's running a great race. And who knows, when it comes down to the end of this, he may be right there battling for this win.
Yes, sirree. Well, got to give a shout out to our third place here. Now, he has got a battle here. You know, the 26 of Chuck Sweeting on his tail, Adam Eisenhower in the 86. So we got the 86 and the 26, as well as the one of Blake Griffith. Blake Griffith, take note, had the moment there. He is currently running up in 5th as well. So these three drivers currently running up in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They've had their fair share of Darlington here tonight.
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy road for some of these guys to get up front, especially Adam Eisenhower. We talked to him earlier. He played strategy, and that's sometimes what you do is you got to roll the dice and hope that it works, and that's exactly what it did for Adam. He's able to gain a lot of track position. He's following back one, lost the third to Chuck, but still in top 4 from where he started. That's a win right there, and to me at least, if I were Adam.
Well, yeah, Chuck Sweeting currently now making the pass, of course, on the 86. That's going to put Adam Eisenhower in that 4th position. But, you know, in lap 85, 115, we take a look here at, you know, of course, this is the caution count, but we have 31 laps left to go. These drivers have been out here at about 19 or so laps. They, I believe, still might have to pit at least one more time. Make it a short pit. Fuel, do you take tires if it stays under green?
Yeah, so here's what I'm seeing. Like you said, we got 31 laps left, about 19 or 20 even run, so about 50 laps. If I'm these guys, I'm going to chop it in half. I'm going to go 25-25 on these tires. I'm going to come down pit road. Maybe not necessarily fill it up with fuel, but give myself enough fuel to make it to the end. 4 fresh tires, and I'm good to go to the end. So I'm going to say within another 5 laps, maybe 4 laps, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing these guys maybe peel down pit road. That would be my strategy call. Split it in half. That way I can maximize the tire life.
Well, one of the drivers that I want to make note is that number 7. He just scraped the Darlington stripe there, Ed Morris. Now, he has not led a lap. He started 11th. He's currently 10th. He's, you know, we still got plenty of laps left here, but if you split it down the middle, if you was Ed, what would you do in Ed's position?
Well, if I'm Ed, I'm going to probably stay out here. Mainly because of the fact we say it's week in, week out. This doesn't change from track to track. If you do what the leader does, you're just going to probably stay where you're at. So if he does what everyone else does, he's probably just going to stay 10th. Maybe gain a spot or lose a spot. But if he really wants to make an impact, if I'm him, whatever the leaders don't do is what I'm going to do. So if the leaders come down, split it in half, I'm going to stay out until my fuel runs out. Or if they stay out, I'm going to come in early, get my 4 fresh tires, and try to use them up.
Well, fuel laps 39 to 45 here this evening. Top 5, Alan Elwood.
Whoa,
About a half a second.
Here?
Oh, we have a battle.
Oh, I don't know if that was...
The number 1 getting past there by the 30 of Justin Gann. The number 99 of Michael. Yeah, Michael Mueller.
Or was it Michael Mueller? I couldn't tell. A couple of these cars look the same. I just saw somebody get really, really squirrely and kind of stack up the pack and look like a hornet's nest for a little bit around
Well,
him.
I don't know, but the number 1 and the 99 may be dueling here for position here momentarily. Just again making the pass there on Blake Griffith.
I believe that battle will be for the 8th position as the field goes around a slower car. I believe that may be kind of Gary May down there on the apron.
Oh, Jerry Glenn taking a lap down in the 98. The last driver on the lead lap would be the 00 of Nick Hunt. Nick Hunt coming in 2 tonight, 8th in points, 1,054, 5 behind Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes currently running behind him, 2 laps down.
You know, I don't want to say anything. Oh, we got the 09 and someone else the 52 of Tyler Hallman spinning down the backstretch. Caution does not fly as they stay off. There it is. Now it flies.
There is the caution here. Tyler Hallman in the 52 chase driver involved. Let's go back here and take a look on the MaxSpeedTV replay. What happened to our one of our chase drivers? Tyler Hallman in the 52. Got the 09 of Bryce Senesac around him. The 86. Oh, right here it looks like the 52 tagged the wall and goes down right into the 09, and that is what is going to bring out the caution. Both drivers taking heavy damage on this caution, 3rd caution of the evening.
And unfortunately, just wrong place, wrong time for Bryce.
Oh,
there. He did
man.
nothing wrong. Just nothing you can really do. And those are the worst ones as a driver is when it's out of your control. Nothing that you could really do there. But unfortunately, it's part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everybody on pit road here. Who is going to win the race off of pit road? Do you take 2? Do you take 4? And it looks like the 4 of Alan Elwood is going to win the race off of pit road. This time by... Well, let's see here if we can get a word in with our 11th place here, Tommy Haynes.
Put no gas.
Tommy Haynes, Joshua the booth, got a copy.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Well, Tommy, man, currently coming out in 10th off of pit road. And we are winding down the final laps here, man. Well, what a race here tonight. What is it going to take as a chase driver coming into 2 tonight in 7th in points, 6 behind Chuck Sweeting?
I might just keep these fenders on here because I don't think the wrecking's over with.
Well, how's Darlington, transitioned from kind of a nighttime, a midday, of course, to night.
Car's real tight, real tight. You just about got to stop in 3 and 4 to turn it, but it's for everybody. It ain't just for one person. So we'll see what happens, man. It ought to be a good one. Tighten them belts down, boys. It ought to get interesting.
All right, Tommy. Well, let's get back to it, buddy. Good luck down there, man.
Thank you, bud.
All right. Well, I know he's not racing. Well, he is racing. That would be Nick Hunt. The 00 of Nick Hunt. He is currently running back here. Oh, well, we're not going to be able to interview him here, Jake.
Going back, getting ready to go back to green.
Yes, sirree. Get him going, Jake.
All right, we'll do here is the field again. Stacks up 2 by 2 going through turn 2 here. Right now, these guys are doing some last minute adjustments in their seats, making sure everything feels right. As again, the leader in the 4 car will take the inside lane. Really think that's a no-brainer at this point. But he's going to have his toughest competitor, I feel, on his outside for this, what could be the final restart here. Dalton Cowden's definitely going to give him a run for his money. I will say this before we go green. We got, 15, 20, just under 20, 18 laps to go.
We have 19 to go here this evening. 3 cautions.
I don't think you're going to see these guys just go single file as you did, so quickly and easily. But we'll take a look here as the pace car pulls off. Control now into the leader's hand as they go green here as the 4 gets up to a great jump. The 34 right with him as well. Top 2 are definitely single files. We have a battle for third between Adam Eisenhower and Chuck Sweeting there. Eisenhower on the outside. He will give the spotter potentially fall in line behind Sweeting. As you see the top handful, looks like they've gotten single file here coming off turn number 2.
All right, well, single file they go. 18 laps remain here this evening. We take a look back here at the 99 of Michael Mueller doing battle here with the 17 of Tommy Haynes. He is on the low side. Tommy gonna make the pass there. Here comes the 32 of Darren Clement. He's gonna try to make the pass there on the 99. Not gonna be able to do it. 17 to go as now they go single file.
And, as much as I'd like to stay double file, I think everyone just, still realizes 17 is
well, not to interrupt you, but Adam Eisenhower making the pass on the 26 of Chuck Sweeting. He is gonna go into third place. Chuck gonna go back to 4th.
Yeah, as I saw, nice pass by Adam there. He's, one of those guys that took a chance earlier, and it's paid off. He's kept that track position. He hasn't wavered yet. We'll see how that plays out. It looks like he's catching up to Dalton Cowden now and kind of putting on some pressure on him for second place.
Yes, he is. Well, Dalton Cowden currently in second. And Nick Hunt, from what I see in chat here, just slammed the wall there, right front damage coming to that 00. But Nick Hunt currently running in 12th. Currently, he started 7th, so he's going to be up a couple of positions. Nick Hunt came in 2 tonight, 8th in the point standing. It's not over. Nick Hunt can, capitalize on anything that happens, but Alan Elwood, 91 laps here tonight that he has led. Don Cowden now up to second from 19th place. What a run for the 34.
Yeah, he came in tonight with something to prove. Wanted to show everyone what happened last week, was just that one bad week, and he's showing it tonight. He's driven a great race. driven smart, stayed out of trouble, and here he is, finds himself at the end, and this is definitely going to help Allen as well for that points lead that he had coming into this race. Going to stretch it just a little bit more.
All right, Alan Elwood up front, Dalton second, Adam Eisenhower in that third place. Adam not in the chase. However, playing upset here this evening. Chuck Sweeting in a fourth. Even Chuck starting third, finishing fourth, maybe, a position down if it was to end now. Still a good finish for Chuck Sweeting, but we mentioned it earlier. That number 7 of Ed Morris started 11th, currently running 5th behind the 26. What does Ed Morris have to do to get around and make it the best finish he can?
I think he still has to tell himself with 9 laps. Unfortunately, this track doesn't grow a lane as we get down into the waning laps of this race. So you still got to remember it's still single file. Not necessarily single file, but single groove. You just got to try to set up the guy in front of you to pass him at the best point, which would be the exit of the corner down the straightaway. So whatever you got to do to maybe try to find a little bit more entry or get your nose in the clean air. I think that's what he has to do here. But he has to remember, hey, don't throw everything away just for one spot.
All right, Justin Gann. All right. Well,
Ed Morris up to 4th now.
Yeah, Ed Morris up to 4th. Now, we missed it because we was going back here to some of the other drivers here. I seen the 99 of Michael Mueller and the 30 of Justin Gann. David Elliott in the mix here. So we have a pack of cars with 8 laps to go. It's going to come down to the nitty-gritty here tonight.
Yeah, it depends on what side of the coin you're on here. If you're on Alan Elwood's side, you're loving what you're seeing right now. That lead is stretching now slowly but surely. It's every single lap growing just a little bit more, a couple hundredths of a second more, and over time those go to tenths, which go to seconds. And on the flip side of that, if you're Dalton, you're probably getting frustrated behind that wheel. You're saying, I'm doing everything I can, but somewhere he's beating me. You just don't know where. So it's going to come down to the final probably couple laps here to decide this one. We may get a late race caution. You never know.
All right, well, we do have the green-white checkers that do play a factor here in iRacing and, of course, Extreme Motorsports and 99.com. What if it comes down to a GWC? What do you do in that case? Do you pit? Do you stay out? Do you get fuel? Do you just get tires? There's a lot of different strategies that play out.
Yeah, as somebody who actually does call strategy for a team, it's a road team, not an oval team, so not necessarily the same thing. But here, at a track like this, I wouldn't even let my driver think about staying out regardless of where you are. It will ultimately be a death sentence for everyone. This track, Atlanta, the two that I can think of are the roughest on restarts on old tires. We're talking 5-lap old tires, never mind 16 close to 20 laps. You're going to have way too much tire spin. You're not going to gain anything out of it. So I'd say you come down, maybe not necessarily put fuel in it, just put some 4 fresh tires on it, and then go to town and just, at that point, regardless of if you have 1, 2, 3, or even 4 as a max here, green, white checkers, that's going to be your last pit stop. I'm going to tell them, hey, pits are closed after that. Don't even think about coming down unless we need to pull to the garage early.
Well, 16 more turns here for Alan Elwood. If he makes it to the white flag before the caution comes out, that is going to extend his point standings going into next week, which will be at Chicagoland. So, I wouldn't necessarily say Darlington being a short track, but Chicagoland, it's one of those tracks. It's fast, but it's short.
Yeah, it's one of those what I would call cookie cutter track. Kentucky, Chicagoland, Vegas, Kansas, all the same sort of shape. Um, Definitely, faster than this is what I would say for an overall lap because you can carry a little more speed in the corners. Definitely
Oh,
shorter.
not to interrupt you, but a battle here between the 86 and the 7 as they come around here, still side by side. Adam Eisenhower, Ed Moore Sr., Chuck Sweeting in the mix here, too. 2 laps to go. If anything happens, it's going to happen right here. 1 to go here this time by. So, yeah, if anything happens, and the 7 goes around. What a wreck! Yeah, but Alan Elwood, final lap here this evening. That is going to end it here. No caution. Alan Elwood bringing it home in the victory lane in the number 4 here tonight at Darlington. Oh, man, what a race. We're going to go back here and take a look at the finish here. At this, what a finish. 1 to go. What a race for second, third, and fourth. As we seen the 7 go sideways, the 86 going around, or the 7 going around, the 86 right there in that position. Not sure. Well, man, big contact there, and a lot of drivers involved in that. Oh, man, what a race it was. But tonight, Alan Elwood gonna finish the race here tonight up top. Congratulations to our winner, Alan Elwood. Give me just a few minutes. We'll get the top 3 down here for the MaxSpeedTV post-race show. Alright, back live here on MaxSpeedTV. I have caught up with Adam Eisenhower, third place here tonight. Probably not what he expected, but nevertheless, Adam, man, what a race here tonight. And for the finish there, man, it was outstanding, man. What did you see in front of you at the final part there? And of course, talk about Darlington. Too tough to tame and the lady in black, man.
Yeah, man. Wow. It is too tough to tame. And when you interviewed me earlier, I said it. And maybe about 5 laps later, I caught the wall in 1 and 2, which isn't usually the wall you catch on this track. It's usually the other end. But boy, those last couple laps, with 2 to go, Ed came up alongside of me. And I don't know. I'm anxious to see if we have it on the broadcast. We ran side by side through 1 and 2. And at the point coming out of there, I was on the outside through the whole turn. I sent it, and there wasn't 2 inches on either side of the car to get me through there. And, coming down to the catching the white flag, him on my inside, I figure we go through the turn the same way again. And, he washed up in front of me. It's not how I would have designed it. I apologize to him. he didn't have much of a response back, but, the Sim Speed Shop Camaro was fast, and, he just washed up a little bit. I mean, get in my cockpit. I couldn't have done anything different, than I did. He just washed up, checked up, and I just gave him an ever so slight bump. And, it seems to me, I think it set off a chain reaction of a lot in the back, and a lot of people's finishes were tainted in a way, and I apologize for that if I had any doing of it. But it's the last lap. It's just hard racing.
Well, hard racing on the last lap, and third race of the chase. It's Darlington. The lady in black, too tough to tame. It's one of those tracks that you've got to do what you've got to do. Talent. You've got to, put aggression into it. You've got to put track position. You've got to put stamina. And, of course, most importantly, survival. That what comes down to Darlington. So, talk about that real quick. And, of course, next week's race, we go to Chicagoland.
Well, you're absolutely right, Josh. It is about survival, and that was the key to the race. That was the key to me starting in the back and using a little bit alternate strategy and catching a lot of people a lap down, and sort of flipping the race on people and make them chase the lap back and chase the pit strategy back. So that worked out great. But survival the rest of the way. I mean, my last 10 laps there, 15 laps was just, whatever you do, don't hit the wall. Don't give that third place up. I had nothing for Alan tonight. That was a fantastic win on his part. Dalton, the same. Nothing for those guys. I was a top 5, top 7 car, and I was just holding on to everything I had. But yeah, this track is brutal. But as much as it scares everybody, we usually have pretty good races here. And as far as the chase goes, I'm not in the chase, and quite frankly, I didn't have any. I didn't even think of the chase during the race there. Coming down to the last lap, I don't know if Ed is in the chase or Chuck is. I have no idea. So, maybe I could have done a little bit differently on that. But I'm out here to finish good and get some momentum going for next year. So, I didn't race anybody dirty or anything like that. It's just the way it goes.
Well, real quick, what about Chicagoland going into next week?
Yeah, I like Chicagoland. It's a good track. It's been a good track for me. It was the site of my first K&N win here with Extreme Motorsports 99.com's league. So always holds a pretty cool place in my heart. First win there, and there haven't been many others as well. But I like the track. It's a fun track. These cars are a blast. Hopefully, I haven't run it in a long time. Hopefully they're a little loose, and we can pedal the car a little bit rather than pushing through. But we'll see when we get there and take it turn by turn again.
All right, Adam. Well, thought shout out's pretty good, but for you to celebrate your third place finish here tonight.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks to Extreme. Thanks to Max Speed. You guys put on a great show. SimSpeedShot.com and all the other sponsors of the leagues that allow us to do what we're doing. Have a great night. Appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right, Adam. We'll see you next week at Chicagoland. All right. Well, that is going to bring us to our third place finisher, or our second place finisher here tonight. Dalton Cowden in second. Well, I'm going to turn it over here to Jake. Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely, Dalton. If I had a rebound award, it'd be to you, bud. Coming off the finish you had last week at Pocono, finishing second here tonight, started 19th. How'd everything feel? How'd the car and the track feel?
The car felt great. The track was tight. It's Darlington. It was just getting a flow and keep your head down. Don't hit that wall too many times.
Yeah, you guys definitely had a lot of green flag runs. Moving forward, only 2 more races left here in the chase. You guys go to Chicagoland next week. What do you got there? What do you think of the track?
Oh, I love Chicagoland. It's going to be another one of those long runs, save your tires, and hope you don't burn up the right front races. So, and I feel like I've gotten pretty good at that this season. And like you said, after last week, I really, really needed this week. So I'm over the moon right now.
So you're saying there's a chance of maybe talking to you again in the broadcast booth after the race at the Chicagoland?
Oh yeah. I'm almost gonna guarantee it because I love that track. It's one of my favorite tracks all time in everything that I've raced. Trucks, K&N, Cup cars. It's one of my favorites. So I hope I'm back up here next week.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can go ahead and mark that on your calendars, that guarantee from Dalton. Before we let you go, bud, is there anybody you want to thank? Sponsors, friends, family?
I want to thank Proformance Motorsports. I want to thank AB Nation, TMP Knives, you guys in the booth, Extreme Motorsports, SimSpeed Shop, all the guys that put on the league here. I've had a rough couple weeks and kind of keep my head up, get good racing back in. And it's been fun. Let's do it again next week.
Well, I'm definitely glad to see the rebound here. We'll let you go celebrate that second place finish with your team. Glad we were able to talk to you this week.
All right. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Dalton.
Thank you.
Bud. All right. Well, that is going to bring us to our winner here tonight, Alan Elwood. Top of the points here. Alan, man, you were burning up the rubber there, man. You dominated the race here tonight. Talk about the racing here. And, of course, leading the most laps, 105 here at the Lady in Black. Man, it was, outstanding. Talk about it, bud.
Would you believe that we had like half the cautions that we had at Pocono? Good grief. It's crazy that, much of this race pretty much went green. And I think that paid dividends. Pocono, I was fast there, but, all the cautions just kind of, you can't find a rhythm, getting caught up in traffic, stuff like that. But tonight, just the goal was to stay out front, accomplish that, hammer down, and pull away as much as we could. We had the long run speed up to a certain point, but I think that one run toward the end, Dalton was catching me. And I was certainly mirror driving. I started over driving just a little bit. Seeing somebody actually in the mirror coming was an eye opener. So kudos to him for coming from the back. That's a hell of a job on his part. But overall, it was a fun race tonight.
Well, talk about that here real quick. You might have come away with the win here tonight, topping points, 1,092. But, one race could ruin that. Darlington, is over. You came away with the win. But next week, of course, Chicagoland, it is technically a short track. So kind of talk about Chicagoland and seeing Dalton just, kind of come up to you.
Yeah, Dalton has speed usually week in, week out. There's not too many weeks where he struggles. So between him, Chuck, some of these guys out here, Adam, picked up a third tonight. There's a lot of guys that have the speed. My teammates even, they just seem to week in, week out have bad luck. But Chicago is one of those tracks like Homestead where you're going to be able to run multiple lanes. You're going to be able to run top, bottom. So that could be a challenge if you get stuck in traffic coming out of the pits or something, or what have you. But as long as you can stay up front, that's probably the least of your worries. So that's always the goal, of course.
All right, Alan. Well, you've talked about Chicagoland. You've talked about Darlington. Thoughts out of what to give before you go celebrate your victory here tonight and continue the gap there between you and John Sterling.
Yeah, I was surprised that John didn't show up tonight, but overall, hey, we'll take it. Open up that points lead. Got a little bit of a margin here that we can work with next few races. Thanks to my teammates, Will, Blake, Judd wasn't here tonight. You guys up here in the broadcast booth each and every week doing an awesome job, and Rick and everybody here in Extreme.
All right, well, Alan, let's get to it, man. Good luck. We'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Thanks, guys.
Uh-huh. All right, well, Jake, let's get them on the unofficial results here, pending any, of course, admin stuff that, they have to do. To come away with the win here tonight, Alan Elwood in first, Dalton Cowden in second, Adam Eisenhower in third, Justin Gann in fourth, David Elliott in fifth, Blake Griffin in sixth, Nick Hunt in seventh, Bryce Senesac in eighth, Ed Morris ninth, and Jared Glenn in 10th.
Yeah, and Tommy Hansel finished 11th. Michael Mueller finished 12th. Darren Clement had a rough last lap there, finishes 13th. Chuck Sweeting, I believe he was involved that last wreck as well, finished 14th. Tyler Hallman 15th. Tommy Amassi 16th. Brandon Fries P17. Bobby Tinch 18th. Gary May 19th. Jason Eisenhower, my bad, will finish P20.
All right, Will L. Davis 21st. Nolan Neiman 22nd. Joshua Gillian 23rd. Tough break for Joshua. Mike Rominger 24th. Also a tough break. Andy Starcher admitting here tonight, as well as Don Kidder. So that is going to round out the field here this evening. Well, Jake, again, thank you so much for joining me here tonight for the Sim Speed Shop Xfinity Series. What did you think for the finish they had here tonight, man? It was awesome. Awesome racing.
Yeah, again, first and foremost, thank you to yourself, MaxSpeedTV, for letting me come on last week, this week, and hopefully for the foreseeable future, at least for the Xfinity cars. As far as that finish, the whole race was amazing. Definitely, I'm not going to say it was a breath of fresh air after what we had last week, but it definitely raced a lot differently than I thought. If you had told me that these races would have gone the way they would have, I would have probably called you crazy, but I'm glad we got green flag running, got some, green flag pit stops, and that finish was, you couldn't ask for anything better there.
Yeah, you couldn't have. Alrighty, folks, well, that is going to do it here for MaxSpeedTV. Josh Randall and Jake Clarkson here for the Sim Speed Shop Xfinity Series. Until next time, folks, stay safe and have a good night.
La 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 la.